Okay. Alrighty. Oops. Okay, there we go. Alright, gotta switch a few things around. This was just gonna be a stream for, obviously for Diablo 4, but we're just going into a little bit of the, whatchamacallit stuff. Hey, Vanilla. We're just going to deep dive into a few things, go over questions people may have, along with MFPF, I think it was, in the forum, was asking about which runes are being removed, and we were going to find that out. So, to his credit, I said I would pop him over here. So, okay. Here we go. Alright. So, MFPF says they showed an image, all the runes in the inventory, right? That means it's possible to deduce it from the image of each rune. Anyone willing to do it? And I said I would do it on my stream, and I would give him full credit for asking. Avalon actually posted the screenshot of it, which was nice of him. So we got to go through that. He's like, I expect credit for the idea, just kidding or not. And I said, I'll give credit. I'll even show you your reply specifically. He says, hi, chat. So MFPF says hi. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, Fribbles might have done it. Compared your images against my eternal stash, I may have made mistakes. They may not have all runes in their list. I may not have all runes in my list. Don't trust any of this until you verify in-game yourself in LoH. Also know that some runes have moved between rarity tiers, so even if it's X'd out on the rare list, for example, it might be again as a magic rune. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So let's check a few things here. I reduced my ad time on Twitch, by the way. It should only be like 5 minutes per hour instead of like, I think it was set to like 20 or 25 minutes per hour. So, shouldn't get nearly as many ads this time around to Vanilla. Just adds up. You'll still get some, but you won't get nearly as many. Let me see, where's my game? Okay. So we had, God, this is, I just logged into Eternal from, just logged into Eternal for probably the first time this season. So I have so much crap just sitting here. Not that I honestly care. So I never touch Eternal. But, you know what, maybe someone will want this stuff after the patch hits. Not to mention what's going to happen to all this crap here. Let's see. So we've got all our runes. What they really need is if they're going to... Oh, it just automatically filtered in. If they're going to do this, they need a automatic switch over button. I know some games have that. Like, for example, you can press a button and it switches over all the like items that you have into your stash, like automatically. That would be ideal. In fact, let's put that down as one of our things we want to add. So we'll create like a list of quality of life features. I'm just going to use Notepad or quality of life features. Quality of life features to add. Add a button to automatically throw in like items. Identical items. I don't know how to pronounce it. Just looking while you're doing some bot work. Be here if needed. No worries. Throw in items from character to the stash when it's like items. So if you have a bunch of runes, you already have them in the stash, just throw over ones from your inventory, and they'll make it sound better later. Anyway, throw that off to the side. Oh, what the hell happened to my thing? Come on, work, you piece of crap. All right. So we're just going to go through a few things. There we go. Okay, now it works. All right. So let's do... we already have runes. I'm assuming we have them all, but I could be wrong. I may be missing some myself. I probably am missing some, to be honest. Let's see. Where was... There it is. Okay. So we've got... Let's do like a quick comparison here. We've got... Oh, interesting. Is that not on the list anymore? Assuming this is the full list and they haven't like completely destroyed the list. I'm gonna have to put this over here because otherwise I'm just gonna constantly be going back and forth. All right. So we've got Bach. We've got... It's not Igni. No, that is Igni. I'm sorry. We have Bach and Igni. We have a swirl with a thingy that's a lith. And we have Yule. If I'm correct, they've taken out the majority of these things, so let's go back into our notepad again. Okay. So they've taken out Ahu. Taken out... Yeah, there's only... That doesn't make any sense. There's only 4 legendary runes it's showing. For the top runes. 5 rare. 4 magical. The bottom runes are 5 legendary. 6 rare. And 7 magical. That's interesting. Okay. So let's do... do I have an open stash tab somewhere? Damn it, I did not. Son of a... But, oh, what we can do is this. Okay. So we're going to make this look identical to what they have in the thing over here. So that way we can get rid of unnecessary ones. This will make it easier for us. I was stupid before. Okay. Oops. So we're going to do this. We're going to make it match up on the screenshot on the right, which you guys can't see. Apologies, but you saw it earlier. However, look at this. Check this out. Let me pop this over. So if we look at this rune here on the screenshot, and you look at this rune here, it got swapped. It's no longer a legendary rune, it's a rare rune. So we got to keep that in mind. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Okay. So now we're going to go down this route. Make sure nothing's good over there. Okay, we're good. All right. So this is now a rare rune, not a legendary rune. Put that there. This is the maintain at least 1 active summon for 5 seconds, scanning offering for each up to 6 summons. Okay. That might be actually really good. We have the Neo. We have like the knock. The knock. We have the Pock. What in the crap is that one? I don't see that rune. I'm not sure what that is. Or I don't have it. I'll have to look that one up. We have an empty spot though. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, I definitely don't. And it wasn't upgraded from one of the... Wait, no, there it is. This one got switched to a rare. So we have a legendary that switched to a rare and a blue that switched to, or a magical that switched to a rare. Interesting. Okay. We have Sem. We have Seer. Looks like these two are the last two. Okay. So those two are the last two. All right. No problem there. Still got Eom. Got Ja. Got Ohm. We've got Vex. And we have not Zon, but Yom. Interesting. What rune is that? Is it this one? Is it Lock? Making sure. Yeah, okay, so this is Lock. This is a dude dancing. Where's the dude dancing? Do I not have that rune? I don't think I have that rune on this character, unless it's one of the blue ones that got swapped. Kind of looks like a dude holding a cane to his right. And he's got like split legs. It's like the best way I can describe this rune. So similar to this guy with both of his hands up, except it's a dude with the legs out, one hand out, and there's a cane on it. It's the best way I can describe it. And his other hand is like on his knee, that's like out. But I'm not seeing it here. I'll have to go back through the whole rune list and figure out what that is. I'm just making sure I'm not missing it. No, I'm good. Okay. We're good. Alright, so we have a tail of some sort, Mott. We're missing this one right here. We have Mott, we have Q? Quay? I don't know. I don't know how they pronounce these runes, to be honest. I don't think anyone from Blizzard, I should say, has gone through them. We got the weird W thingy. Maybe it's a fancy N, I don't know. What do we got? We've got the dog, scorpion, I don't know. Something. The weird squiggly water fire. God. Oh, the cry has turned to a magical. Okay. Nair has turned to a magical. What's the next one on that list? It's got like a little loop-de-loop. This one. Qua. This one's got like a half over Teb. And then we have the final one is again, it's this one, Tizik. So these are every single rune except for one. I'm missing the dude. Trying to make sure. So assuming this list is accurate, you got 4, 7, 11, 14 total that have been erased from the game. If the screenshot in the video is accurate. So we got 14 total that we're missing completely, which is interesting. So, okay. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. What does the X mean? Does the X mean Bach? And I thought Bach was... Yeah, we've already... Okay. So these are all of them that are in there. And we are missing, let me see, Diablo IV. List of runes. Let's see if we can have like a depiction of them, because I want to see the actual rune itself. You know? Is this the full listing? Where's the dancing man? Where are you, dancing man? I don't see the dancing man. if this is updated, I don't see the dancing man at all unless he was... What in the world? So what is this rune? It must be a new rune. It must be a warlock rune, is my best guess. Because we do not have the equivalent of whatever this rune is. That is my best guess. Let me just go through one more time, make sure I have everything I need. Got the Y thingy. This, we've got that. This one, which was originally blue, it's turning to yellow. It's turning to rare. Okay, that one's good. The W. This one's turning to rare from legendary. Which makes me wonder if they're doing this, do any of these coincide with runes you need for mythics? And if so, obviously they're going to have to change how that works. Which, I mean, isn't that big of a deal. I'm just curious. Alright, so all those are good. We're literally just missing the dude with the cane, which I want to say is probably a warlock one. I didn't see it in the actual full listing. Alright, that one's good. W. Fancy W versus weird fancy N. Scorpion. Fire. Messed up dog. Probably a boxer. Maybe a pug. Let's go with that. Some kind of kanji. And the L with two little fringe thingies. Alright. That'll work. Okay. So yeah, definitely these are the runes we're going to be stuck with. We are missing out on, let's see. 15 offering, lucky hit up to 100% chance against non-healthy enemies. Apparently not that great. Nobody was really using it. Cast a non-channeled core skill. Invoke a skill from another class, which, yeah, that was situational. And by that point, it's like you're using a whole different rune set to proc a different rune set. So it's just, no. Become injured or crowd controlled, 1,000 offering. Yeah, that was, I mean, you would have had to get injured or crowd controlled. Although crowd controlled wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, you can get crowd controlled fairly easily. Let's go down the list. Sorry. Let's play sometime. Add me on Discord. Yeah, baby. I'll add you so hard. You don't even know. For those who don't know, I'll just say, message me on Twitch. They want to play with me so hard that they want to talk to me on Discord about it first. I'm all for it. Fine. It is what it is. Anyway, getting rid of Chalk, which invokes a Druid's Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I don't see anybody using that. Casting a skill add on a basic or defensive consumes all of your primary resource to increase your damage up to 100% for 1 second. That one has been used a decent amount, I would say, so it's kind of interesting they're getting rid of quacks, to say the least. Maximum life for 6 seconds. I've actually used this one. It's not bad. Reduce your active ultimate cooldown by 1 second. See, that one's not bad either. Like, Zal and Zek are pretty good. Alright. Restore primary resource was also a decent one. I mean, it wasn't great, but early on, yeah, it was great. Just required 5 offering. I mean, if you were struggling for resource management. What do we got? Invoke Spiritborn's Pestilent Swarm. I've used this, but obviously I typically go for something better in the long run. Barbarian's Earthquake again, not a big deal. Meteorites, not a big deal. They were fun. Stun grenades, same thing. Like all of these, I can easily see them getting rid of. They're not that big of a deal. Some of them I'm kind of surprised at, but other than that, not too big of a deal. Oh, all right. So let's do la da dee la da da. Okay. Oh, like the Discord is up and running very nicely. Okay. Oh, I never checked the gear of this character. This was from season 11. I think. Was it? Did it just get rid of all the goodies that we got from... I think it did. It did from Sanctification. I think it just got rid of Sanctification. The stuff that was on it. Because I definitely went Hammerden for season 11. And I sanctified the crap out of all this gear, and it just took it off. And I guess just gave back what it normally was. I never even looked at the gear since season 11, obviously. Okay. Interesting to say the least. I'm just gonna grab all this junk. Oops. Let me grab that. Oh my god. It just... Okay. Yeah. It just threw it all into this freaking game. Sorry sometimes, man. Okay, so we're gonna... It was these that we didn't want. It's gonna take forever just because I'm stubborn. God, I can't wait for stacks to go higher. Oh my god, there's so much crap in here. I mean, I guess I might as well start emptying out some stuff just to see what I can do. Although that's some runes apparently I didn't have before. Wait. There's not a... Is there a max on runes? Stack-wise, I mean. Please tell me there's not a max on runes. Kel is the little... Whoa, wait. Are you telling me... Oh, wait, that's... Wait, that's Kel and that's Lack? What is the... What is the difference between those two? They look identical. Genius thought that was a good idea. I didn't even notice that. All right, so we have Kel versus Lack. Hold on, let's think this through. What would they keep? Is the better question. So we need to have something from each class, right? And the bottom ones are the ones that give you your things. So we've already got Barbarian's Warcry. That's in the game. It's Ohm. That one's staying, right? Other than that, we have... That's one Barbarian. That's one Druid. Two Barbarian if Lack stays. Otherwise, it's Paladin. Let's assume it's Kel instead of Lack. So let's assume that's Kel instead of Lack, right? I was like, why isn't it stacking? 50 is not the stack because we have clearly a 90 stack right here. But the symbol is identical to Kel, which is just, I did not notice that. Clearly they ran out of symbols. Can't have that. Anyway, so we have a Barbarian Legendary, we have a Druid Legendary, we have a Paladin Rare. Kidding me? Shaq is staying? No, Shaq's... Oh, no. Shaq is not staying in. I'm sorry. Okay. Shaq is not staying in. It filled the slot with the... Okay. I was mistaken because we don't have... In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to... Where are... Do I have any gems made? We're going to make a gem so this doesn't happen again. Where is the jeweler? I believe they're down here. This annoying town. I'm not a fan of this town. Is there a jeweler here? Oh, does. I know there's a jeweler here. Yeah. Let's just make a crappy chipped amethyst real quick. There we go. Okay. So that'll be a placeholder for the particular thing. How many Paragon do I have now? What's my total? 278. I'm still not even 100 after however many things, but to be fair, I never got up to like 250 on each season. Typically stop around like 200 something. My original goal was to get 250 for every season, and then it would cross over. But in any case, I'm rambling. All right, let's go through this again. So if we assume, let's assume one skill invocation rune per class. We've already got the Barbarian. We've got the Druid. We've got the Paladin. I'm assuming this is going to be a Warlock. So that's 4. We've got Rogue. We got Druid again. We have 2 Druids. You have Petrify as well as Earthen Bulwark. So that's 2 Druids. You've got 1 Sork. 1 Necromancer. We're missing a Spiritborn. That's another Wolf. That's another Druid one. Spiritborn. There's Spiritborns. All right, we got the Cry. We have another Rogue. And we have another Necromancer. So there, and another Spiritborn. Okay. So we have 2 of a couple of them, but some of them don't get double. That we only have 1 Paladin. I'm going on a limb here and saying that Kel is actually going to be the Paladin one that stays. It's not going to be where was it? It's not going to be Lack. That is what I am thinking. I'm thinking they're not going to leave the taunting gem in there because I doubt many people used a taunting gem or a taunting rune. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make much sense, right? So I doubt they would very much use a taunting rune going into the expansion. So they're going to get rid of that. They're going to use Kel instead because it's the only Paladin skill that's actually available. They got 2 Rogue, 2 Druid, 1 Barbarian, 2 Necromancer. They have 3 Druid. Because we have Petrify, we have Earthen Bulwark, and we have the Wolves. Spirit Wolves. So... 2 Spiritborn, 2 Necromancer, and 2 Rogue, it looks like. Where's the other Rogue one? Yeah, there's the other Rogue, Dark Shroud. And Paladin. Yeah. So this one's going to be Warlock. Alright. So all of these are trash. Literal trash. Okay. Alright. Let's go down the list as well. I know that they're changing... God, they're changing like so many things. They're changing Shroud. They're changing some legendaries around. All the aspects are getting... excuse me, 200 aspects out of however many there are getting updated. Yeah. Let's just throw all this in there. Good lord, I have so many piece of junk ancestrals. My inventory is going to be so full. Not even my inventory, my stash space. All this junk, I'm never going to use any of this. And I don't know enough people that play on Eternal that would even want this. Not that it would matter, because I get the feeling all of this is going to turn into Legacy as soon as the expansion hits. So even if they wanted it, they would really only get materials out of it. There needs to be like a collect all button or something. Withdraw last season over 100 still, or over 80, I'm sorry. Way too much crap. Oh, it'll be nice when these stack to 1,000. Although, that being said, it's going to be a moot point because they're going to exchange into layer boss keys. Since we're going to have singular now. Oof. Okay. What I'm really hoping they do in the future is start getting rid of certain keys in general because of how they work. I'm hoping that's the case. It's all junk. All right, let's get rid of like 15,000 of these things. Let's see. So what else do we got going in? Does anybody actually have any updated stuff on the expansion? I don't think Maxroll does yet. I think they've been... Technically, the quote-unquote embargo has been lifted, but I don't think anybody's coming out with new stuff. Oh, there we go. More plans. We've got something on more plans. They got something on Tire Echoing Hatred. We've got the loot filter. They got the talisman system. They got Scovus, Horodic Cube. Let's see if there's anything on Horodic Cube. And the talisman system. So let's go into... Let's see what Maxroll has to say about war plans, if anything. It does show the skill tree. To get a feel for what type of customization the skill tree provides, a few examples of notes from previous footage are shown on the table below. So you can get things for the Tree of Whispers, Nightmare Dungeons, Helltides, Undercity. Obviously there was more than that. There was layer bosses. In fact, if we go into the game and we look up, if we go to social, we can go by this. So obviously there's one for, well, it doesn't show it here, but obviously there's one for the pit. Infernal Horde, I would imagine, is what it's currently on. No, it's a Nightmare Dungeon, I'm sorry. What is this one? This one's Undercity right there. This one is Dungeons. What is that circle one? That's Infernal Hordes. Dark Citadel and the Tower. Gotta hope Dark Citadel isn't in there somewhere. Alright. But Tree of Whispers is actually on this list, which is interesting because obviously there's no thing here for Tree of Whispers, so that'll be different. Tree of Plenty, a fourth option will now appear when choosing a Whisper Cache. It's nice. Fortune of Famine, Whisper Caches from the Tree Whispers are always at least of greater quality or junk. Great. How did that change anything? Grim Mysteries. The greater collection of mysteries can now appear when selecting a Whisper Cache. This reward can drop a huge variety of range of weapon and range of items, currencies, and materials. Okay. It's cool. Nightmare. Walking spoils. After completing a Nightmare dungeon, a War's Boundary chest will spawn. It will grant additional rewards. Cool. Activating a shrine in a Nightmare dungeon can cause an elite ambush. 40% chance to 1 elite, 30% chance spawn 2, 24, 10 to 7. Not bad. Communion. While in a nightmare dungeon, killing an enemy after activating a shrine traps their souls within you. When the shrine power expires, all trapped souls will escape and spawn around you as renewed enemies. Interesting. Treasure Breach. All treasure goblins have a small chance to drop a nightmare sigil that has the Treasure Breach affix. Nice. Helltides. Tainted shrines. While empowered by a shrine at Helltide, slain enemies grant double the progress for your threat level. Okay, that's kind of cool. Hellborn Horde. Threat level ambushes have a chance to spawn additional Hellborn. Okay. So 50% chance to spawn 1, 20% chance to spawn 3, 5% chance to spawn 4. That'd be interesting. Hellborn have a higher chance to drop a unique item when slain. That's pretty cool. Alternate ambush. When a hellworm ambush occurs, hellworm, I believe, are the nidus worm looking things that pop out of the ground and can knock you off your horse and spew out enemies. It can summon one of the following: a Chaos Rift, Duriel Brood, Bloodseeker Ambush is interesting. Infested Ambush. Hellworm ambushes will exclusively contain Duriel's Brood, and enemies that come from them will have +1 monster power. Sometimes a pang of Duriel will appear from a Hellworm ambush. Oh. What do you have from the Undercity? Undercity Invasion. Invasion portals that spawn enemies now appear as you progress through the Undercity. These enemies grant a small amount of attunement when killed. Okay, I mean, that's kind of nice. Last Gasp. Time collected from slain enemies with 5 seconds or less remaining in the Undercity doubles the time earned. That's... It would only count for 1 then. Yeah, if you have 5 seconds left and you kill an enemy, assuming it gives you anywhere between 1 to 5 seconds, depending on where you are in your seconds, that would just keep you from hitting 0 for an extremely limited amount of time. Because you would have to, let's say you're at 4 seconds, you kill an enemy that gives you 5 seconds, now you're at 9 seconds. You have to wait for it to get back down to 5 to get back up again. So you're always teetering within that second range. It's not going to help you because the timed enemies, the ones that you kill 4 times, are going to be so spread out that you're going to be able to kill a bunch of them, and you're only going to get so many seconds. I mean, it'll give you a small boost, but it's not going to be great. I don't think it would save you. If you're already at 5 seconds to go, this isn't going to save you, in my opinion. You're already pretty much screwed unless you're like right there at the next level. Anyway, Cabochon Merchant? I don't know how to pronounce that. Cabochon? Something. If you slay a portal prankster within the Undercity, the Cabochon Merchant will appear after killing the district boss. Cabochon Merchant will sell you runes and gems for gold. That could actually be really good. Depending on the rarity of the gems and the runes, obviously. Still, I mean, that's helpful. We're always after runes, so. Forgotten City. Gain additional Forgotten Souls when completing the Undercity. All enemies within the Undercity have +1 monster power. Okay, I mean, that's not bad. The video guide, I don't really need a video guide on how war plans work. We know how war plans work. I mean, come on. Let's see. Somebody asking a question? No. Okay. We're good there. So, there you go. So let's go over, let me see what else we got. Sources. There was the Herodic Cube. Let's see if they have anything new in the Herodic Cube. I'm just popping these over from the other side. So we've got, if we're looking at this, can I pop this out? No, I can't. Hold on. Maybe I can do this. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Okay. So we got the Project Cube options here. We have amalgamation, transmute several of the same item to upgrade it, limited to certain specific consumables, socketables, and dungeon keys. Very interesting. Okay. So you can combine consumable, socketables, and dungeon keys. I wonder if runes is going to be part of that transmutation thing. Very interesting. There's a 3-to-1 transmutation. These are all item transmutations. There's obviously gear modification down below. 3-to-1 transmutation, I imagine it means 3 items of the same type transforms into a new one. So potentially either it's going to be 3 of the same item transforms into a brand new one of the same type, or lesser rarity can transform into higher rarity. So let's say, for example, you have three normal items. You throw them into the cube, it makes you a magic item. You have 3 magic items, it makes it rare. You have 3 rare, it makes it legendary. Potentially 3 legendaries, it makes it unique. And then that's probably where it stops, because I highly doubt they would make you put in 3 uniques for mythic. That would be hilarious if it works that way. Either that, or it's going to be 3 normal equals a new normal, 3 magic equals a new magic, and so on. And then you have like 3 uniques you don't use, pops into a brand new type of unique, or potentially the same one. If the transmutation also works as well in torment difficulties, you might get greater affix on it. Potentially. I would assume that. But I guess we'll see. There's a recycle uniques option. I think that turns them into a charm. That's what they said before. Upgrade to legendary. Upgrade to unique. That's pretty nice. Take an item, upgrade it to legendary, and then upgrade it to unique. So if you can't find your unique, it sounds like you can finally take a base item and then upgrade it into a unique. What that base item needs to be, we don't know. Can it be a normal, or does it have to be a legendary? Probably has to be a legendary, but who knows? But that's cool, because you have, like, you can't find, let's say, a particular unique weapon. If you can just shove that weapon in the cube, upgrade it to unique, then you get a unique. Potentially the weapon that you need. Otherwise, you just keep re-rolling until you get it, assuming you have the materials. Reroll set charm. That's nice. Craft oh, no. Okay. So there's recycle uniques and there's craft unique charm. I thought those would have been one and the same. Okay, I'm mistaken on that. Transfigure item, they went over that. It's almost identical to sanctification. We don't know exactly what the benefits are going to be just yet. We do know that if you go the random route, you can have multiple transfigurations on an item. Potentially. It doesn't mean you will, it just means you have a chance, a rare chance to actually transmogrify it or transfigure it multiple times, which will be interesting to see. Otherwise, you have the normal option of just going, you have the safer option of putting an item in there with transfigure, and it'll be like, okay, now we're going to upgrade. So this will be an upgrade. You don't have to worry about it. And you can go from there, or you can go the more chaotic route, which I plan to go the more chaotic route, because I like a little bit more RNG. You have add affix, chaotic reroll, and then nothing else aside from that. Okay, let me see. Oh, here we go. This goes into exactly what I was going over. Amalgamation transmutes several of the same item to upgrade it, limited to certain specific concept. Okay. To upgrade it. Alright. Transmutes 3 equipment or talisman items of the same type into a new item of that type. Okay, so it's 3 of the same into the same type, but a new variant of it. So 3 helmets into another helmet of the same rarity. Alright, recycle uniques. Transmute 3 of the same unique equipment items or charms in a new version of that unique. Transmutes 3 of the same unique equipment items or charms. Oh. Okay, so if we go into the game, and we have, let me see. This is the perfect example. I have 3 red sermons. I could shove that into the cube and potentially get a different, well, I have 4 red sermons, but anyway, I could shove 3 red sermons and get a brand new red sermon with potentially different stats that I may want. If the 3 ones that I've already gathered don't have the stats I want, or maybe the greater affix isn't there, hey, that might as well, right? So that makes sense. Okay. Upgrade to legendary. Transmutes a rare equipment item into a random legendary of the same type. Okay. And then upgrade to unique to be determined. Reroll set charm, craft unique charm to be determined. Makes sense. Oh, here we go. We have gear modification recipes seem to deal more specifically with altering the properties or affixes of an item. However, not much is known of this class of recipes yet. Makes sense. Adds a random affix to an item. Tuning prisms can be used to modify the category or the affix that is added. So tuning prisms are going to be huge with crafting and gear modification. Otherwise, you're just rolling the dice at that point. Okay, so that's it for the cube, unfortunately. They just don't have a lot of information on it. Like, very, very vague from what they pulled. Talisman system, which we know mostly about. There's seals and then there's charms. Seals are the ones that go into the middle. Charms are the ones in the outside. Seals dictate what kind of charms can go in the middle and how many slots open up. So, as you can see the UI here, let me pop open. Oh, oops, that's not what I meant to do. No, I guess that's it, yeah. Seal would go in here. These are the charm slots that are locked. Looks like by default you put in the charm. This one shows unlocks farm 5 charm slots, so it doesn't even unlock all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're still missing 1 because there's 6 total. Oh, this is interesting. So the seal itself adds a crap ton of armor, 45% armor. Cannot have more than 5 sockets, but can equip 2 unique charms. So you can have 2 unique charms. That's kind of cool. So it actually will limit you to the types of charms you can get. Charm set is Dark Pact. More damage, plus damage, not multiplicative. It's plus, which is weird because they're adding multiplicative damage to your items now as affixes instead. Okay, so that's interesting. Then we have, let's say, charm set Adept Action, damage reduction while moving. Again, a +%, but still decent. Now we got charm sets, which we know about. Or set charms, excuse me, charm set, same difference, doesn't matter. In the image on the right, we see the Linta charm of the Nilfer's Narrow Eye, set for rogues. So it's got, let's see. So base on this particular charm, obviously each charm is going to be different. +2 to Heartseeker, 47% crafting material drop rate. Interesting. Nilfer's Narrow Eye includes the Phoba, the Fair, the Mueller, the Linta, and the Phoba. 2 set piece. When you cast a marksman basic skill, you gain a stack of vengeance. That's Diablo 3. It's hilarious. Which grants movement speed and increases your damage of your marksman skills. Vengeance stacks up to 5 times, and you lose 1 stack every 4 seconds. So you're going to be constantly casting basic skills, alright? While you have Vengeance, you gain 1 Dark Shroud. This looks very similar to the sets from Diablo 3. And for those who don't know, Diablo 3 obviously had sets. They were the cornerstone of the game. Like, you couldn't... The game mostly revolved around the sets. Yes, you could play without them. There was specific ways to play without them. It was its own specific build, non-set build, basically what people called them. But it used very specific items to be able to be viable for classes. Otherwise, you had to have a set. For their sets, it was 2, 4, and 6 were the amount of set pieces you needed. The 2 was always something kind of generic. It may have added like a little bit extra damage and something. The 4 set was always defensive. And the 6 set was like the huge multiplier that you got. I'm talking like 14, 20,000% damage. You know, something stupid crazy like that. And it looks like they're going the same route with this one. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 to this set. We know of a 2 set and a 3 set. Clearly, they're not showing the rest of it. I would love to see what the 4 set is, if not the 5 set. See exactly what this would entail. Or if it has a 4 and a 5 set bonus, which would be interesting. I'm not sold on that just yet. All right. Oh, who's bugging me? Nobody. Okay. So let's go into is there any, and I'm trying to find any resources I can. Sorry, the stupid thing. Loot filter. I'm sure there's probably not much to say about this. It, from what I've seen of the loot filter that they showed off in the video, it's going to work exactly how you think it is. It's going to be very elaborate. You're going to be able to pinpoint exactly what you want, what affixes you're looking for, possibly what aspects you're looking for, uniques, runes, you name it, charms. Yeah. Item power range. So that's going to be item levels, which I think 900 is the new max, but I could be wrong on that. Or whatever it showed them in the video. Item rarity match. So you can get anywhere between normal white items to unique items, or legendary and unique items. Ancestral check, that'll be nice. Codex upgrade check, huge. Greater affix check. Item type match. Has required affixes, has optional affixes. Is a specific unique talisman set bonus. Yeah. Okay. That's normal stuff. I'm not going to go into Scovos because I really don't want to know about Scovos. I want to go in, as far as the storyline and the new stuff is concerned, aside from the systems, I don't want to know. Echoing Hatred, how it works, we already know. Okay, so nothing new on Echoing Hatred, it's just the same stuff. You're going to go into a giant arena, you're going to be swarmed by constant waves of enemies. When you finally get to the point where you're overwhelmed or you die, that will be your mark, and then you will get rewards based on how high you went up. Obviously, you're going to be fighting not to monsters, bosses, all sorts of crap in there. What is this? The longer you last, the more monsters you kill, the better rewards you review at the end. It is accessed by finding a rare trace of Echo's golden ticket from loot drops. Okay. So it's going to be similar to compasses, for example. Did they have... did they mention the war plans? Because in the war plans, they mentioned if you don't have a ticket, or an activity token, I should say. If you don't have an activity token, the war plans will give you one, which I think is great. So, like, if you don't have a crust... actually, now I'm kind of curious how that'll work. Like, for example, let's say you have a nightmare dungeon on your war plan. You don't have any nightmare dungeon keys, which is going to be rare unless you're like just starting out or you just got rid of them all. It's going to give you, I guess, a random one for just a random nightmare dungeon. And then you can enter it. What's going to happen if it gives you a nightmare dungeon that's behind a stronghold? A stronghold. So it sends you there and you like click on it. It's like, you can't go here because you haven't unlocked the stronghold. So that'll suck. I don't know if that'll be the case, but that's a potential problem. Undercity, it would give you a random tribute, I guess. I mean, would it only stick to magical? Would it have a chance to give you the rare or the legendary ones? That'll be interesting. Lair boss is, if I don't have a key for lair boss, is the warpland specific for the lair boss that you go after? Like, for example, let's say you have a lair boss as your first node that you pick on your warplans. Is it specific boss, or does it just say lair boss? You know what I mean? Excuse me. So we'll have to figure that out tomorrow. Infernal Hordes, same thing with the Nightmare Dungeons or the Undercity. What compass is it going to get you? Is it going to give you the 6, the 8, or the 10? Or is it just going to be random? The pit obviously doesn't need a thing anymore. So, yeah, just something to keep in mind. Okay, looks like you have a confirm button here. Yes, these are the 5 I want to do. Main selection. I guess these are layer bosses. Something. Interesting. It has... I wonder if these are the rewards that you get. The extra rewards. Okay. Very interesting. Boss loot tables is just hot, but I don't think it includes the new bosses. I'm gonna guess it doesn't. Beast Nice, no. Lord Zir, Orvar. Duriel, no. Andariel. Ringer of Hate. A Butcher, it actually shows him. But it doesn't have... Hello, what is this? Or is this because... But no, it says it requires a greater layer key. Cosmetic reward is unknown. Are they just taking from the current season? That's what I'm guessing they're doing. Oh, oops, I think I got disconnected. Stayed idle too long, that's fine. Blood Mad Idol, which is a berserking thing. Wendigo Ring. Yeah, these are all the new stuff that came in during the last season. Or season 12, I mean, we're still in season 12 technically. Deal damaging, yeah, unique dagger. Thousand Eye Reaver, okay, some basic stuff. Astaroth. Doesn't even show his dedicated unique drops to be determined. Bartek. Dedicated unique drops to be determined. Okay, so it has them listed, but it doesn't have what they're going to drop. And it's assuming that the Butcher is going to drop these items. So, okay, mythic uniques are being obviously, like, Shroud of Falseless Death is being changed. It's no longer stealthing and whatnot, and some of the stuff is being reworked. We know that. Is there any, let's see, Diablo IV, Lord of Hatred, unique changes. Oh, somebody posted it on Reddit. We've been collecting all the new info revealed over the last couple of days by watching all the streams, YouTube videos posted by the press. We've put together this page that should make it easy to digest all the new information in one place. There's actually a ton of updated uniques for most of the classes. I think it's something like 100 plus new/updated uniques in total. Makes sense since a lot of uniques interacted with the passives in the skill tree, especially for druids. As always, if you find something new that we missed or is wrong, let me know. Please, hope this helps you get hyped for Lord of Hatred. Okay, you say that, but... Oh, it's on Diablo 4 builds.gg. Okay, let's see. So we've got... Okay, so they've got a couple sets here. I'm just gonna go hash through a couple of these. So they got... All these are called Phoba. But it's Phoba of the whatever. A little weird to see. Yeah, they're all called Phoba. All the charms are called Phoba. Phoba of whatever, just kind of weird. That's fine. Basically, the names of the sets themselves are different. No Fur's Narrow Eye. This one was... Dark Shroud Shadow. Every 2 seconds, you also gain 25% damage reduction whenever you have at least one shadow, and knock back close enemies when you lose a shadow. 5 set they don't know about. Let's see, we got Shadow Harass. Set enemies within shadow form areas are dominated for up to 7 seconds, preventing them from acting and causing them to move where you target with recast skills. So kind of like a daze, but it actually draws them in. That's kind of cool. Shadow form reduces damage taken by 25%, leaves sigil of subversion shadow trails behind you while moving. Okay. Your Abyss skill damage is increased by 350% while you have shadow form, but each cast consumes 1 stack. Dominated. Oh, sorry, hold on. But he's bugging me. 1 second. Sorry. Oh, is that not going through? Grinding late. It's from Season of Slaughter. Why is your chat not showing up? Hold on. Something's going on with my chat. 1 second. Begins. I don't know why you're... Is that not... Weird. I'm sorry about that, dude. For some reason, your chat wasn't showing up. I have no reason why. No idea why. Excuse me. Okay. Hold up. Still going. Double checking my live stream. Real quick. Go. So, yeah. Anyway. Where were we? We're doing this. Okay. Pop this back up. Delete that. Anyway. So, Abyss skill damage is increased by 350% while you have shadow form, but each cast consumes 1 stack. Dominated enemies take an additional 100% multiplicative damage. Huge. We have Phobos practicing these. This looks like a generic charm set, which you're going to get pre-torment. They already mentioned you're going to have pre-torment charms as well as torment charms, which are class specific. So set is 5% attack speed, 15% movement speed, 25% gold find, and 50% bonus kill experience, 5% at level 70. Okay, so yeah, just a leveling charm set, nothing major. I'm not going to go through all these. You guys can check them out if you want. This is Diablo 4 builds.gg/lord-of-hatred. I don't know if you can see it up here. Hopefully you can. But I'll throw it in the chats just in case. There we go. So I threw it in Twitch as well as the YouTube chat. Damage reduction from elites. And again, another generic set. +2 all skills, another generic set. 1000 armor, 100 all resists. That's not going to do much for you. Like 1000 armor and 1000 all resists would do a lot more for you. 100 all resists, that ain't doing crap for you. Yeah, that's just dumb, especially, well, maybe 1000 all resist would be too much. 500 all resist, I think, would be decent. I think that would be worth it. I could be wrong. Lucky hit chance up to 40% chance to deal 1500 cold, 1500 fire, and 1500 lightning damage. That's funny. They took that. They must have taken that out of the tempering and then put it in the charm system. That's funny. Flesh of Abaddon. Demonic strength bonuses are increased by 150% and now persist after you leave demon form. Casting core and basic hellfire skills outside demon form consume 1 demonic strength to cast them again at a random enemy. They got some interesting stuff here. Just checking it out. Zealot skills, judgment, summon a bear companion that attacks enemies. This is the companion one. In one additional bear, and all other companions of each type gain all companion side upgrades for free. This is identical. I don't know if anybody who's played Diablo 3, there was a, was it the Marauder set? It was some set for the Demon Hunters that allowed you to have, oh, was it a set or was it unique? Maybe I'm thinking it was a unique. Something in that game allowed you to have every single pet active at the same time. If you were on your Demon Hunter, and I want to say it was a set, so that way when you activated your pet, quote unquote, thing, it would activate all of their abilities at the same time. So, what is this one? Enemies cower before you, becoming feared and immobilized for 0.5 seconds when they first see you or when you block them. Interesting. This could technically be used for anybody with a shield, but I think Spiritborn also has block too, if I remember correctly. So that could potentially work. What do we got? We got new uniques. So we've got casting a skill with two-handed bludgeoning, two-hand slashing, or dual-wielded weapon grants increased damage for 15 seconds with all three bonuses are while all three bonuses are activated, you gain plus 25% crowd control duration and attack speed. And then, I mean, you're using it for the increase in damage, obviously, and attack speed, depending on how much attack speed you get. Berserking damage bonus is increased by... Interesting. Berserking damage bonus is increased by 85 to 110%. While not healthy, you are always berserk. Mighty Throw now gains multiplicative damage instead of cooldown from cooldown reduction at 75 to 100% effectiveness. Okay. Depending on how much cooldown you have, that could be decent. Not sure. Core skills deal multiplicative increased damage, but cost 25% more fury. The damage is doubled against injured enemies. Inflicting damage over time, you have a chance equal to your critical strike chance to increase the damage amount by so much. Hammer of Ancients deals increased damage on consecutive hits to the same target that stacks up 3 times. Okay, that's not bad. That can get up to like 90%. Increased damage, updated uniques. Oh, 100,000 steps. Previously it did when activating or refreshing a full walking arsenal. Okay, so this is all barbarian then. Do I have to select the next? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it might be like a tab thing where if I click through it, it would actually like shift over, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but mostly the ones that I want to play, because I usually don't play Barbarian or Druid. Necromancer is usually my jam. Rogue, Spearborn. Those would be pretty much what I'd probably play. So, let's see. Your maximum number of skeleton warriors increased by 6. Skeleton warriors cleave with their attacks and deal increased damage, and commanding them onto a target increases the damage that target takes from your skeleton warriors. Commanding them onto a target, so that means we actually get a command button to actually make our minions hopefully attack something. This will be great. Let's just go through a few. Your golem will consume one of your skeleton mages every 8 seconds, healing for full life and gain increased damage for 10 seconds. At that point, why don't you just have it eat one every 9 seconds? But it is what it is. Let's see what else we got. Whoever deals increased damage sends out one additional specter. Dark Horse surrounds you, inflicting decrepify an Iron Maiden on enemies who touch it. I feel like we already have that. Minions gain attack speed. Critical strike, one of your minions dies, your other minion is enraged. Not bad. Maximum number of skeleton warriors and skeleton mages increased by 2 to 4. Commanding skeleton warriors also causes skeleton mages to focus the same target for seconds. Oh, thank God. We're finally getting a necromancer ability to deal damage, or to focus target. Heaven Piercer got changed. Blight also shoots 4 smaller piercing projectiles each, deal 40 to 50% of Blight's defiled area damage. That's a nerf. Huge nerf on that one. Yeah. For what I understand, I think. I could have sworn the thing was better before. Maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. Ignore me. Casting Blood Surge consumes nearby corpses, causing mini novas. Instead, now it does. Casting Blood Surge picks up 4 blood orbs around you to expel smaller blood novas, dealing so much damage. Okay. Basic skills gain the effect of every upgrade. Damaging an enemy with a basic skill causes them to take increased damage from your other basic skills. Interesting. So you can have a completely basic build focused necromancer now. Ring of the Sacrilegious Soul. Corpse tendrils gain the effect of every upgrade and is automatically cast every 8 to 6 seconds. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, because previously the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls would cast Raised Skeleton, Corpse Explosion, and Corpse Tendrils. Now it's just doing Corpse Tendrils. Interesting. Hand of Naz. Sacrificing both skeletal warriors and golems grants an additional skeleton mage. Oh, that's right. This was the mage one. Your maximum number of skeleton mages is increased by 4, and they are upgraded to archmages. Archmages teleport to safety when attacked, and their attacks occasionally shatter on impact, dealing increased damage to the enemies and up to 3 additional targets. Okay. Rogue, we got some new stuff. I'm just trying to go over what's new here. Let's scroll down just a bit because I don't want to go through everything just yet. Warlock, we've already got the skill stuff. We know about the skills. New uniques for the Warlock in particular, looks like, yeah. New legendary aspects. Got the Warlock aspects. Okay. A whole bunch of crap. Doesn't look like they have the upgraded aspects at the moment, which is fine. I mean, the upgraded aspects are going to be like a huge list going forward, but yeah. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, let's go back into the game. We're going to record a thing in real time. So hold on. Get out of all this. Let me go back into, hold on. Oh, damn it. That's not what I meant to click. Okay. So where was it? So let's go back to this because MFPF asked about this specifically. So we're going to come back in here. Where was it? Okay. So we're going to go over the runes. God, I don't have many of these at all. Let's see. Where is my record button? Oh, actually, I need to adjust this. Hold on, hold on. My hair is sticking out badly, isn't it? Screw it. At this point, I don't really care. It's gonna... Ugh. All right. My hair does not want to work with me tonight. Okay. Anyway. It's going to be interesting because they incorporated a lot of the aspects into the skill tree. I'm looking forward to seeing what the variance looks like there. Hold on a second. Sorry. I agree with you, Vanilla. I'm very curious what the variants are going to look like for each class. Obviously, we don't have it. Nobody's got an updated skill tree at the moment. And I get the feeling they can't come out with it until tomorrow if they do have it for the content creators and whatnot. So we just have to wait and see what's going on there. But we'll see. So we do have the list of runes. So I'm just going to make a quick video here. I'm going to try and record this in real time, as bad as this might sound. Oh, we can't hear the game sound. That's okay. I'd rather not have the game sound during the recording anyway. So, anyway. All right. So let's do this. Hey, Draconia. Which recap 2020. So let me go back into. All right. So we're just gonna record this from here. See how this works. If it messes up the stream, I'll stop it. Finally got a Discord yet? Do I have a Discord? I mean, I'm part of multiple Discords, but I don't have a Discord myself. I guess I should make one, huh? Your name sound familiar? Turns out I've seen you on D4. On the D4 forums, I was like, oh yeah, that's why. Because I am Iggy from the forums. I am the guy that comes up with the elongated Iggy notes. So that is me. In case you were wondering. And random videos on my YouTube every now and then for Diablo 4. I don't have a lot up at the moment for Diablo 4, but I'm working on it. Slowly but surely. So eventually I will get a Discord. I'll have to make a brand new one. But yeah. We were just going over the Lord of Hatred changes and various things. There's I'll tell him he should, but he never does. I'll get around to it. The problem is my time is so limited that I wouldn't be on it very much. I mean, I'd be more chatting in the Discord, as in text chat, than I would actually being in the Discord and talking to people verbally. It'd be like a second forum, basically, is what it would turn into. Yeah, just because my playtime is limited, I'm more of a casual player in that sense, because I can't play every time, all day, like some of these other streamers. So, you know how it goes. Am I doing a collab stream video when VOH releases? Oh, you mean Lord of Hatred? I don't have anybody to collab with, and my time is limited to basically 2 hours a night. So I'll be playing with the wife. I mean, I'll be collaborating with her. If that counts. So, you know, we'll be playing the campaign together tomorrow, assuming we can get in. The servers aren't crapping out. Hopefully they won't be. And hopefully there's not hopefully there's not any problems on launch day. Fingers crossed. I'm just being real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat Blizzard's mistakes or anything like that. I will give it to you straight every single time. I will praise them when they do something right. I will criticize the crap out of them when they do something wrong. Season 12 was horrible. The launch, the bugs, like, it was bad. Like, just bad. I'm not gonna lie. Blizz, after all, they're just a small indie company, bruh. Yeah, you're not wrong. Actually, you know what? I hate to say this, but they are kind of a Blizz. They are kind of an indie company now because they're part of Microsoft. So if you really think about it, Microsoft as a whole, they are like this small little portion of Microsoft. So that makes them kind of indie within their own giant scope. If you think about it that way. But other than that, where are we at? We're at Diablo 4. Diablo 4 builds. We just found... if you're looking for more information on what's coming out... Oh, I put it in the chat. I'm an idiot. Duh. I literally put a link in the chat earlier. Let me see. You may have missed it. I'll just pop this over here. So all the things that they've come together and gathered as a collective, certain things, not everything, obviously. But for example, they went over charm sets that they've managed to scrounge from leaked information or from screenshots. They've got new uniques for each class that have come out, existing uniques that have changed. They don't have a list of all the aspects, unfortunately, that have changed. Would have been nice to see, but it would have been a huge list because they said there was 200 of them, or over 200. Warlock skills, but we already knew about the Warlock skills. That's also on Max Roll. If you go to Max Roll, you can actually look up the Warlock skills. They have Warlock uniques here. Do legendary aspects specifically for the Warlock, so we know some of the aspects coming out for the Warlock and things like that. And then previously, I was going over all of the runes that were being erased from the game. So that's why it was currently in game. We took the screenshot from the video that they put out, and we cross-referenced it with what's in the game. We also found out something very interesting too. My wife is iffy with D4. Don't blame her. Oh, damn well there's going to be issues. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, we went through. So the screenshot. Let me see if I can find it here. MFPF was asking about what would cross over, and this is the original screenshot of it from the video itself. So we went in game and we copied exactly the same thing that they have there here. Some runes got changed from legendary to rare, some got changed from magical to rare, and vice versa. So it's not going to be a one-to-one. You'll notice that. There's also we found out yeah, these are my runes. I just recently went through. This is my Eternal character, so I still got way too much crap to go through. Which I'm just going to destroy, like, all of this. I don't care. I don't play Eternal. Sorry. So this rune here, Kel and is it Lack? Identical runes. And the graphic for it is identical. Because again, small indie developer company, they can't afford to make a brand new graphic for a rune. So you want a full, no spoilers, no hints, no gameplay, etc. I want a full immersive, what's new type experience coming back to D4. Oh, got it. Okay. Banning if you want to play as the Warlock or Pally. Okay. Gotcha. Well, don't watch the rest of the stream then, because I went over a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, unless you just want to know about the systems, I'm definitely not going over any of the campaign or any of that stuff. I didn't even go over the other junk, and I don't trust quote-unquote video game journalist reviews. So, I'm sorry. IGN comes out with a brand new thing within like 2 days of a brand new game coming out, and I'm just thinking to myself, really? You spent a crap ton of time with the game to come out with a decent review for it, or you just skimmed the surface? Yeah, I'm not buying it. So, but for me and the wife, we're definitely going to play Warlock for sure. So we're going to have fun with that. We're going to go through the campaign as normal, see where we end up, and then dive into the end game after that. I might make more classes, because this will probably be one of the few seasons I actually want to make more classes, depending on how it goes, depending on other stuff come out and what my wife wants to play after Diablo 4. We kind of got into Enshrouded, so we've been playing that a decent amount lately. To be honest, the trailers have been better. My thing is a story and then the gameplay, game mechanic. Yeah, I get you. I like to know about the game mechanics going into it. I don't want to know any story. So that's me. The issue is that Blizzard has always had the best cinematics. This is true. I will grant Blizzard the benefit of the doubt. Their cinematics, unless you go back to like the very early ones, but even then, for the time that they came out, early cinematics from Blizzard have always been pretty much on point. The only time I can think of the bad ones was like Warcraft and Warcraft 2. But I mean, come on, those were like built in the 90s. So, but then Diablo 2 came out, and you're like, holy crap. Decent. I mean, obviously, for its time, it was decent. It was similar to watching the Final Fantasy VII cinematics. Like, Final Fantasy VII had great cinematics. Unfortunately, they were overshadowed by the blocky textures of their sprite characters in the game. I mean, not that Final Fantasy VII had great cinematics to begin with, but for its time, it was decent. You know, they were still blocky in the cinematics, but the certain cinematics, but not as bad as their damn sprites. I mean, freaking Cloud with his Popeye arms. Everybody with their Popeye arms, not just Cloud. But yeah. Look at VOH trailer. We all thought, ooh, finally we get to fight Mephisto, and nope, we fight a wolf form of him, and look how badly that ended. Fight player base and the company. You know, VOH was the campaign started out strong, and then it just fizzled. It's like at one point I didn't even care that the dude like betrayed us and set us up. Just like, sure. Like, whatever. At that point. Like the biggest threat in Vessel of Hatred was a dude that got burnt and wore a mask. Like he was a badass. Urvar should have been what Mephisto should have been in that expansion. And we got a Shadow Wolf to kill. Like really? And then we have the Antichrist raising up from the dead with Mephisto inside of it. You're just like, okay, so now we just spent a whole expansion doing absolutely nothing, failing, and now the next expansion we're going into and finally going to kick his ass. Like, sure. So, but, you know, like Urvar's fight made more sense than the damn dog's fight. It was an epic conclusion up to that point, because that dude was as bad as Prava. Like, he was great. He was the great villain that you wanted to fight. Mephisto was just that thing at the end that's like bugging Nerel the whole time. You're like, yeah, I eventually got to get to her. Let's deal with this religious zealot that we got to take care of because he's just going off the rails. So, the stuff that I got shit for having to buy this stupid expansion. Again, like Blizz, no upgrade options. Yeah, some people were angry about that. They're just doing the WoW thing, which I remember back in the day, I had to pay for every single expansion for WoW. They didn't offer no damn discounts. They didn't offer free expansions up to the nearest expansion. In fact, I don't even remember when they started that. I want to say I quit before they started offering the option for you get the previous expansions for free if you buy the latest one. It's like, you sons of... But it's fine. I haven't played Warcraft in God knows how long. But yeah. WoW does have the upgrade option. Does it? I thought it was just the buy one, get all the previous for free. Like, what kind of upgrade option are you talking about specifically? Because now you got me curious. And then you get a discount for buying the next expansion because you own the previous ones, or how does that work? To be honest, I started way back in vanilla, went all the way to Wrath of the Lich King, stopped for a few years, came back EF and WW. I so they do offer the buy it all, but also an upgrade too. Okay. God, I played up to Wrath of the Lich King. We beat that. We even made a like an elite group for the, was it the 10 man that they made at the time? That small thing. I was part of the elite group for my guild. That actually got to go with it. Yeah, it's some interesting characters in that particular raid. I don't get me wrong, they were great at what they did, but their attitudes toward certain things, I'm just saying, weren't exactly my style. So, but yeah, it was fun for its time. And then I pretty much quit after Wrath of the Lich King, from what I remember. My friend got like the ultimate healing weapon, I think, for his paladin, and then ended up selling the account later. It was well after we were like done with the whole raiding scene, so it wasn't like a deterrent against the guild that we were in or anything like that. But I just thought it was hilarious. Like, nobody wants this. We had a DKP back then, so obviously everybody would throw in their DKP to get, bid for items, and nobody wanted the item, and it was like the best healing mace or something in the game at the time. And he was like flabbergasted. He like throws out like 50 DKP like right from the start. He's like, nobody's bidding. The hell, I could have just spent like 5 on this and nobody would have fought me. And you're just like, what the hell, man? So I just thought it was hilarious. Poor guy. Great. Pugs pubs, whatever they're called, yeah. Pugs pub, and I think they're basically the same thing. Pugs and pubs. Yeah. Back in WoW were pretty bad. If you didn't have like a dedicated guild for things, it was just bad. But yeah, I went through all the raids from vanilla up to Wrath of the Lich King. They were a lot of fun. My favorite, I don't remember what the hell it was called. You might remember this, Draconian. There was a raid in World of Warcraft where you went into like a castle tower thing, and it was more fun than it was. I mean, it was challenging, don't get me wrong, but it was more fun. It had like that, it had a room that was like a party room. Had like tables set out, and you like fought a rogue with like a bunch of like, I think 4 of his minions that you had to take care of at the same time. And then later on, as you went up the stairs, there was like a chessboard that you had to do. And then like the final boss was out on like a huge balcony. Things like that. And then there was like another one on like the outskirts of like the little castle that you went into. I just don't remember the name of the place, but I loved it so much. Oh, it also had a theater, and it was 3 different plays, and depending on when you went into theater, like every time you went into the raid, it was brand new every week or whatever. The theater fight would change. There was Little Red Riding Hood. You had to fight the big bad wolf. One of your raid members was turned into the Little Red Riding Hood, this little gnome with like this red cloak and hood on, and they had to run around the arena trying not to get killed by the big bad wolf. That was hilarious. I think the Romeo and Juliet was another play, and I want to say there was like a 3rd play, and it was just the idea behind the raid not being serious. I mean, it was serious, but it had a flow of fun to it, and they never like brought that back in any of their expansions. And I remember it because I wanted the gun from the Little Red Riding Hood fight for my hunter. I played a hunter back then. I think it was like the Huntsman's rifle or something. And it was like one of the better, at the time it was one of the better weapons until you get like into the better raids. But yeah. And there was like a library, I think, that you went into, and I just remember that place being, it was hectic, and it was stressful, but it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun doing it. We eventually destroyed the whole thing, and it wasn't anything major, but they never went back to that fun feeling. It was always just kind of, here's a raid, here's a boss, here's whatever, go kill him, do his mechanics, blah blah blah. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but they just had more silly mechanics in that in those fights in that place. No, getting rid of you. But yeah, let me see if I can find it. Wow, aid involving chess game. Karazhan must be solved in order to reach Prince Malkazar. The raid plays a sort of chess match against Medivh. Though the analogy to chess is usable, daemons are stronger. Footman, for example, it's not very strict. Yeah, that one, the chess game was so much fun. Yeah, you could even solo it. Like later on, yeah, here it is. Now, let me see if I can pop this up. Yeah, you could even computer mode. Caravan chess event. This is the, and you could pick your side if I remember correctly. You choose alliance or horde, and it just looks so cool. It looks so fun. It was a 10-man raid. That's what it was. Yeah, but it was just something stupid and fun. So. Yeah. Or some of the folks I hung out with, one of the guilds I was part of, people were wild back then. Yeah, right. It was a different time. It was a completely different time. And it's like anytime I think I want to go back to the game just to have fun, I just think of, I had fun with the people I was with at the time. It was a different experience. You can't get that back. It's just, it's not there. And I go back into the game and I think about it and I'm just like, I don't really want to play. I have no desire to get back into it and just level up again and go through the pains of everything. I'm just kind of grew out of it. It was fun for its time. It just kind of grew old on me. So, culture has shifted so much, yeah. It was so different back then. It was, and, streamlining things, I think, was the bigger downfall for the game. It made sense, but at the same time, the social aspect changed completely. You weren't shouting for groups in places. You weren't getting with your guildmates and talking to them. You just were clicking a Q button and away you went, and it just kind of sucked the social aspect out of the game. But I mean, the same could be for any MMORPG. But yeah, it's a little sad, I remember playing Final Fantasy 11 and God, the people I played with then, it was so different. You had to group for things in Final Fantasy 11. There was no soloing anything beyond like level 5 when it first came out. I should rephrase. I think later on they made it more forgiving for like newer players, and then you could actually level up to like max level and then do things with people. But in the beginning, it was just completely different dynamic. We've substituted convenience for soul, in my opinion. Yes, you can do things easier now. You can do things without hardly any help. You can queue up for things, but the soul of the game, of what originally was, with people playing together, having fun, we talked on Ventrilo back then. I mean, it was what it was. And even then, it was just different time. Just completely different. Vent, God no. Codian knows. It was all about Vent back then. And Trello, or God, there was like two other ones that you could use. I think there was a Microsoft one, something else. TSM? Oh, God, I don't remember. I remember we had two different ones, but we always went back to Ventrilo. Because the other ones are just like, I don't want to deal with this. I've already learned Vent. I don't want to learn any others. Kind of like Discord now. If you went from something else from Discord to like a different one, you wouldn't want to Skype. Right? Yeah. Like if I wanted to change from Discord now to something else, I'd be very hesitant to do it because I'm a stubborn old man. Let's get rid of the crap in here. Let's prepare ourselves for the expansion. Although I say that and I'm just gonna literally destroy everything in my damn inventory because I don't care. The only reason this stuff is on me is because I just took it off of my limbo thing. Let's see. Rid of all this junk. But yeah, I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow. I know there's Twitch drops going on tomorrow. There's also obviously I think there's a let's see, Diablo 4. There was like 2 different Twitch drops. Obviously, there's other stuff going on. Let's see, where's the here? Where are the Twitch drops? Twitch. Oh, here we go. Lord of Hatred launch Twitch drops. Okay, so starts tomorrow, 4 p.m. Obviously, I'll be on, give or take 3 hours after the launch. So hopefully within 3 hours, if there's any bugs, they can get through them by the time I get on with the wife. Hopefully. Let's see. The first one looks like a profile. First one looks like a regular emblem. So Lord of Hatred emblem. Looks identical to the thing I have up on my YouTube stream, the background picture or whatever. No, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. I can just pop this over here. So you guys can see it. I'm sorry. I must be tired. We had a crazy thing happen last night. It was cops and things and helicopters, and it was just like, oh god, it's so early in the morning. I just, and it lasted for a good while. It was hard to get back to sleep. Anyway, obviously nothing to do with us, but it was in the neighborhood, and it was just like, can you guys just shoot the dude and so I can go back to sleep? Like, not to be a dick, but well, I want my damn sleep. Anyway, yeah, so there's the title thingy. There's Incident of Signature Mount Trophy, which you can get by supporting a streamer, one sub required. So if you sub to a streamer during that time, you can get the little banner thing for it. If you watch 2 hours of Twitch, you get this thing. You don't have to sub to anything. Stuff like that. So yeah, 3 different Twitch drops. There's the banner and then the packs. And this is the only one that requires a sub. So if you sub to a streamer, such as, you can either, I believe you can either gift a sub yourself, and that way, I believe the Prime sub also works if you have Prime. So I know, like, if I go into Twitch, if I go into Twitch and you click the subscription button, there's an option to use your, if you have it tied to your Amazon account and you have actually Amazon Prime, you can freely subscribe to somebody for a month on Twitch without paying any additional extra cost. Only one. You only get 1 sub per month. So you can use it on whatever streamer you want. So that's kind of nice. You're going live at 5:30 CST. Gives me time to talk with chat and whatnot. Yeah, that's good. This best cosmetics in a long time have been the Crucible Doom weapon skins this short season. I agree with that, Zelgod. I love the, in fact, that's on my seasonal character. I didn't buy them. It's funny, apparently I can't get away from this armor. Yeah, the Doom stuff this time around was great. Sleep schedule's all messed up because I had a migraine. Oh, migraines are the worst. Lay down today for 2 or 3 hours. 8 hours later, you woke up at 10 p.m. So it's like, well, that's my life now. Yep. I hear that. I migraines with me typically, it's the hearing for me. Like my hearing gets amplified, and it's like every single noise is just like murder to my ears. Let me see, where was it? Oh yeah, I also got fresh Bach. That was fun. Where are the cosmetics? Not the bottom one, the Doom Chest ones from doing their bosses. Oh, you're talking about that stuff. I gotcha. Yeah. Like these ones. Do I have any extras on me? Omicron. Oh yeah, that was. Oh, the April Fool's world boss was also great. I love the April Fool's world boss. Did I not have any? Maybe I didn't keep any. May have destroyed all my items. But I know which ones you're talking about, Zogod. I may have destroyed the ones that I had, but yeah, this is like the only one I think I've kept. Behemoth Brawlers Jambalaya Crucible. What the hell it's called? I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, everything else is, I just kept the same. Let me see. Oh, right. Anybody else have a problem with clicking the wardrobe and it doesn't pop up for a good 15 seconds? People have no clue they even exist. That's a problem. Yeah. And I don't think you get the cosmetics for it either. But, what's this? Everything for me gets a million times worse. Light, sound, taste, smell. Yeah. Feels like death itself. Yeah, no, migraines are not fun. No, it's, you don't want to do anything. You just want to be left in like a solitary confinement room. Nothing going on. Like, you need one of those sensory deprivation tub things to just stick yourself in, you know? It's one of the oh, they transmog if you salvage them. Okay. I wasn't sure if they did or not. I know I've gotten probably all of them, but I don't remember what weapons they were. But I know I've gotten all of them from the lair bosses. Got a crap load of them. And I was after all of the items, but I don't think I got all of them from the clucker, whatever it was called, the Bach. But getting his title was great. Bach title, I think it was. Is that what it is? Bach, right? Yeah, Bach. But then I also got fresh meat from the 9,000 stupid butcher thing. So I combined the two. I got fresh Bach. That's why I'm fresh Bach. You need air to be still. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like whenever you get a migraine, you would just pay to just be in one of those sensory deprivation tubes. Just like, leave me alone until this passes. Leave me with some like snacks or something, some beef jerky, and I'll be fine. Maybe a soda. Cold air for you, warm air, even warm makes sensory issues. No kidding. Oof, that's horrible. My wife is very prone to motion sickness. For her, she's only recently started getting migraines. I blame old age. The older you get, the more crap that just tacks onto your body. It's like, by the way, you didn't have migraines before this age. We're gonna start giving them to you. Don't worry about it. We got you. It's like, why would you do this to me? Your own body starts hating you. It's like, you don't have to be this way. You could be normal. Oh, by the way, you slept slightly awkward with your neck. You're gonna be feeling that for 5 more days. Worse. Ugh. Well, they're blowing my skin feels so nice. Chef's kiss, yep. Well, yeah, and when the she can take Dramamine, but if she doesn't take it beforehand and it kicks in, there's no coming back for it for multiple hours. Like she's just done. She can't deal with it. And it's typically only first person or very enclosed third person things. Like we were playing Enshrouded and she does fine in the open world, but once we get in like the caves or like buildings and stuff, the narrow focus is what kills her. If she's not in it for too long, it's not bad. If she stays in it prolonged, it's a problem. Like we found some sewers in Enshrouded that were just completely closed in, dark. She couldn't really see much, and it just started kicking in for her. She had to take a break. Sucks. Yeah. It's fine. Destroy all this junk. Alright. Shredded has been a great game for us so far. We're not too far into it. We just got up to the we're like level 20 something, and we got into like the second part of the main I want to say it's like the Highlands area or something. We upgraded our flame thingy to the fourth power, I think. So now we can go more northeast. I think it's where we are. I don't remember exactly where we are, but it's been fun. We don't get a lot of time to play, so obviously we're not too far into it. But we've been having a lot of fun. We have like two different two different characters we play with. We have the one where it's just me and her, and I'm an archer and she's like a mage type. And we go through, and that's been a lot of fun. And then we have another one with a cousin of hers, where we all play together. So it's all three of us, and her cousin joins us, and we have a lot of fun there. And I am more of the tank for they're both casters in that one. So I play more of the tank, but the recent change kind of screwed my tank over. So I was a little disappointed in that. Previously, there was a tank talent where you could. The first talent was you would take more aggro from an enemy when you attack them. And then right below that talent was a talent that said anytime your allies attack something, you gain back like 200% of the aggro they would have caused. So everything would just come to you if they pulled something. So it's amazing. Yes, that's perfect. They attack something, I get the aggro. I don't even have to taunt. And now they took that away, and I'm just like, really? Do you really have to take that away from me? But, oh well. See how it works. But no, we've been having a lot of fun with Enshrouded. So, but that, and I've been playing more Hades 2 recently. I finally got back into it. I took a break for a while because Diablo came out, then other games came out, and there's too many damn things. I get rid of everything in here. I almost guarantee this is all becoming legacy gear when the patch hits tomorrow. So these are all the runes that won't be in the game tomorrow. Just gonna get rid of all this. Everything's gonna stack to 1,000, which is gonna be amazing. Look at all these damn boss mats, and this is finally gonna go away. Oh, thank God. I can't wait for that. All these boss mats are going away. Let's see. What? Oh. Grab all this junk out of here. Now if we could just get the rest of all this crap in there. Materials tab or something. That would be great. Or make like Nightmare Dungeons, tributes. All these things need to be like streamlined into a better system. I hate token systems. So, huge backlog of games, I'm glad, but all these AAA companies have been releasing dog crap for games. You're not wrong. I agree with you there. You can't look to like AAA studios releasing decent games anymore. Which is sad. Because AAA just means they have more money. Doesn't mean they have more quality lately. I go for either indie devs or smaller studios or privately owned studios for quality lately. I mean, Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate 3, Hades 2, Silk Song, any number of games, you know, you could list off from smaller developers. I had the privilege of being a tester for Bean Beasts, which was a small indie developer tower defense game. And I helped with that during the whole process, and that was a lot of fun. So, but I'm a sucker for tower defense games. And his was arguably different. It has boss fights and all sorts of weird things, so it was a lot of fun for me. I'm just gonna like destroy all these because dungeon stuff's probably isn't gonna be a thing anymore. I don't know why I kept all these caches either. Oh, they're cursed undersea. Oh, I think I remember this. For some reason I couldn't open these because there was a bug last season, season 11, where you couldn't open these. And then they came out with a fix for it, and by that time I had ignored it, like I was already done with this season. Screw it, I'll just throw them in my inventory. I gotta worry about them. I completely forgot about that. No, I'm just gonna throw these tributes in. There we go. So. Let's see. I don't remember a game in the last year or two that had me really hooked. Heck, Halo is having another remake for the 100th time. Like, Bungie, how many times are you going to remake Halo? How many times are you going to remake Skyrim? Or, excuse me, how many times are they going to re-release Skyrim? They don't remake it, they re-release it. Yeah, 33 was amazing. Still have my ass off. These companies point at E33 and telling people, oh, that's not normal. That's just the exception. Like, nah, it is normal. That is what made games great. Not all this slop. Agreed. Companies were so pissed that consumers enjoyed Expedition 30 slop. Skyrim OG with mods is amazing. It is. Skyrim's an amazing game. But yeah. It's sad. Like, I think about previous games, like what was it? The Lord of the Rings games. I like the original ones, which were kind of iffy. But the one where you played the ranger in like every single iteration of the game, and the combat system that they introduced with it, and the Nemesis system, amazing games. Like, where are those games? That, if they made that game today, assuming it didn't come out before, and it was in along the lines of Expedition 33, they would have been saying the same crap about that game. Like, oh, that's an exception to the rule. No, dude, that was what made games amazing back then. Like, if it was made today with the assumption that it wasn't made previously, they would have given it the same amount of scrutiny. It's because, you know, you guys aren't making those games anymore. Doesn't mean they can't be made. You just gave up. You turned it in for money. God, I hate going here. Why am I still at this stupid place? I need to go to Karagor. Like, come on. Don't give me this half-ass stuff of, oh, we can't do this. Like, no, you can. Stop being lazy. Stop throwing millions of dollars at developers that are basically doing absolutely nothing for you. Games of old were great, probably mostly because they had less developers. You had far less people with their hand in the pot. You know, got like 600 developers on a game. It's like, what the fuck are they all doing? Like, in all seriously, what the hell are they all doing? What are you paying them for? I understand code takes a while to mitigate, but from what I've seen, at least in bigger game developer studios, you have like one team working on this, one team working on that, and they don't talk to each other. So they're making code that could potentially screw up something from the other side's team. And then finally, when it comes together, they have to figure out, oh crap, my code doesn't mesh with yours. Now we got to figure out how to mesh it together. And you get this. You get Diablo 4. Or any number of games. There's a huge problems and you can't rectify it without either completely scrapping all the code and starting over from scratch, or trying to work around the bugs and then ignoring them for 3 years because you can't fix them, because it's so ingrained in the code that if you tried to fix it, it would screw up something else. And it's like, you can't run a game that way. It's failing on all accounts. I will give credit to the developers of Diablo 4. They had a shit game when it originally came out. There was nothing to it. There wasn't even any plans for endgame. That's what killed me. It wasn't the fact that the game was essentially a bare bones ARPG when it came out. It was the fact that they didn't have any plans for the future of the game, except for they knew they wanted seasons. They knew they were going to have seasonal gimmicks moving forward. But I swear to God, one of the biggest turnoffs to the game was Joe Shelley himself was like, oh yeah, we should put something like that into the game. And it's like, how was this not even a thought to you before somebody said it? Like, it frustrates me, you know? It's like, come on, dude. Oh yeah, we should have more endgame. We should have systems that people want to run through. We should have things for people to do, not just endless nightmare dungeons until you get to level 100 and then call it quits. It's like, yes, the dog. I'm gonna smack all of you. It's like, the worst part is, you know better. It's not that you don't know better. You know better. You had Diablo 3 that did a complete 180. And I'm not saying, regardless of whether or not you love Diablo 3 or not, if you loved it, cool. If you hated it, cool. But it did a complete 180, gave you brand new systems to play in when the expansion came out, and it flourished for the audience that it catered to. It was fine. I had no problem with it. I personally liked the game, but I understand people didn't like the way that it went. I completely get that. But you can't deny that they put in the work to make it change. For the better or the worse, completely subjective, but they put in the work to make it change. And you just look at Diablo 4, and I know the history of Diablo 4, of why it turned out so crappy when it released, but it's just like, you guys were so busy with, not only were you busy with trying to get the game into a working order, bare bones, you also had your other boss down your throat going, well, we have to make the expansion for it because we're going to make yearly expansions. So you have that crap going on. And then you have a player base that quits because you have nothing to your game. So you've got like all these factors against you. And it's just like, you were setting up the developers for failure. The ones that you hired on to finish the project literally set them up for failure. You gave them no chance for a comeback. And if shit hit the fan, they would be the first to be fired, and it would be justified because they didn't put out a great game and the game failed to collect on its people. So you're screwed as a developer in Blizzard. And I have no doubt that there are far fewer programmers on Diablo 4 right now than there were when it launched. No doubt in my mind. And it sucks. Like, I get it from the point of the developer side. I get it from the point of the customer side. And I get it from the point of the corporate side. You got corporate breathing down your neck constantly being like, your numbers suck. You got to bring those numbers up. We need money from this thing. Developers going like, you gave us shit. We got it out the door like you wanted to, but you literally gave us shit to work with because you didn't know what the hell you wanted in the beginning. There's so many problems up to this point. We made it work. It wasn't great. And now customers are asking for more, obviously. So we got to cater to them. What side do we cater to? And, you know, it's just like, I do not envy the developers at all. Like, they're stuck in the middle between two sides that are just completely unforgiving. And it sucks because anything they do is like, oh, they're incompetent, which, to be fair, I would say the majority of them were. There was, what was it? There was the interview a while back with one of the things, someone was interviewing them. And essentially, I think it was Rod at the time. It was either Rod or Colin. One of them was being interviewed, and they basically said that they did a hands showing of how many people have ever worked on like a video game before, and like almost the majority didn't raise their hands, and it was like that was the telltale sign for me when I heard that. I'm like, yeah, that explains so much about your game right now. Because you got rid of the veterans who knew what they were doing for brand new people right out of college or tech school or whatever to finish your game for you and get it out the door. That's what you did. You had some of your veterans, but they were overshadowed by everybody else, including the big boss man who's telling them, get this piece of shit out the door. It's been 10 years. We got to get something out. Yeah. So, yeah, it was bad. And they've been working hard. I will give them credit. They have been working hard ever since to try and get the game in a better spot. I wouldn't say they've hit the mark every single time. I would have preferred a different route than what we currently have, but I am still enjoying the game for what it's worth. I think the expansion is actually going to be good when it comes out. There's going to be problems, of that I have no doubt. But overall, I am excited for it. I'd say I'm more excited for Lord of Hatred than I was for Vessel of Hatred. So, called Blizz out when people were asking about the stash. I said it's because their code is Dookie. Turns out their code is Dookie. Oh God, what was it? Mike Pior or whatever his name was, who said that stupid line during one of the dev update campfires. Like, we can't add more stash tabs because you load everyone's stash when you pop into it. I'm like, oh my God, that was Diablo 3 code. Why? How is stash tabs such a problem? How is inventory such a problem? 2023. How? Like, I know nothing about coding, but think you would get past these issues in 4 decades worth of programming. Like, come on, dude. Imagine current game dev myself telling people why, and people look at you like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and then get proven right later. Yeah, right? It didn't take a genius to find out there was issues with Diablo 4's code, and there still is issues. Yeah, it's integrated in other shit instead of their code calling to other things. Yeah. I don't know enough about coding, but I know enough to know that it is spaghetti code of probably the worst kind. And because you had the original creators who aren't there anymore, left the code behind, they built the structure, and then you had brand new people coming in, some of them knew the code, but the other ones had to be trained. And you're talking about hundreds of programmers and developers being trained on this new code, the in-game code, because they use their own engines and everything. Being trained on this and trying to make it work for their respective projects. So you got a dude over on itemization writing the code as he was taught, and he puts it in, and then all of a sudden he puts it into the game, and it's like, well, your axe just screwed up my boots, or it just screwed up the skill, or any number of things. And you're just like, it's a headache beyond, and you can't start over from scratch. You got to find a way to make it work with each other, and it's just, I do not envy code makers on this game whatsoever. It's like, why? Just why? I feel bad for them. Like, at a certain point you can blame them, but at a certain point you can't. Like, yes, it is their responsibility to fix the code, to get it up and running, to work out the bugs, things like that. On the other hand, they were literally given a pile of shit and told to make it into gourmet food for the masses. And you're just like, you can polish a turd, but it's still a turd. Like, I'm sorry. There's only so much you can do with it. And they've been trying. They've been trying hard. But yeah, it's just, I'm sorry. The way I tell people is the adults left the company in 2 years, took chalk and started drawing everything. Yes, that's actually a really good analogy. The adults left, the 2-year-olds took the chalk, and now they're drawing all over the walls. That's a really good analogy. I completely agree with that. It sucks. And unfortunately, there are still some adults left, but they can't control all the children running around with the chalk. And they just do their own thing. Joe Shelley is the perfect example. Every time I saw him come on screen for like an update or campfire or whatever, he just looked like a dude who was out. He was done with the system. He was like, I'm just here for the paycheck. I've got, like, the dude looked tired every single time he came on. He looked like he'd been run over by a train multiple times. Just, you could see it in the dude's eyes, like the passion had left his eyes. He was just there trying to get the job done and trying to adhere to his boss and all of the complaints coming from the customer side. And I felt bad for Joe. And he was made fun of for it too. It's like Sleepy Joe, you know? And it's like, I'm sorry, brother. I don't blame you at all for just ducking out. And he is no longer the director of Diablo IV. Went to Brent when Vessel of Hatred came out. And he just became, I think, just a regular grunt worker again. Maybe a higher up grunt worker, but essentially just a grunt worker again. So it is what it is, you know. And then Brent and his, I'll give credit. Brent is more enthusiastic, but his delivery reminds me too much of Rob, whatever the hell his name was, that left. And his idea of, we need to put in more Dark Citadel content. We're doubling down on this. Where is it? Lord of Hatred has no mandatory co-op whatsoever. I don't see your Dark Citadel, Lord of Hatred. I'm just saying, clearly you had a change of heart. You won't admit it, but you had a change of heart. So, as he said, because man, growing up, I remember at Blizzard, games like StarCraft. Yes! Now it's Dookie. Everyone hears Blizzard and everyone gets the ick. Yeah, it's sad. They destroyed their reputation. I mean, the whole lawsuit thing was the beginning of the end, pretty much. The investigations with the lawsuits. It's pretty much the beginning of the end for Blizzard at the time. And while that was all going on, Diablo IV was still in the works. So they lost a good chunk of the people that were working on Diablo IV and had to make up for it. That's why it's an accumulation of things, but that's part of it as well. And then World of Warcraft went downhill. Um, their their reluctance to work with the Dota programmers from Warcraft 3 was a huge shot in the foot for them, because now League of Legends and Dota 2 are out, and League of Legends is huge, like massive. And they come out with HOTS like 7, 8 years later, and you're just like, really, Blizzard? This is what you gave us? People aren't switching over from League of Legends to this. Like, if you worked with them from the beginning, you know, that shit was fun. Being part of the OG Dota games, yeah, Dota games in Warcraft 3, I played the crap out of that. It was one of the main reasons I logged into Warcraft 3 constantly. They were great games. The Dota community, and then, you know, you paid attention to the patch notes that they came out with and everything, and then Blizzard was like, oh, that's our property, you can't turn that into a game. They're like, the fuck, we can't. Like, all right, well, half of us are going to go make League of Legends, the other half are going to go make Dota 2, and screw you, Blizzard. Like, you could have worked with us. You could have been like, that's a great idea. That is a brand new genre of games that there was no market for it at the time. Dota was it in Warcraft 3. There was no MOBAs back then. There was nothing on the market. It was like brand new. I mean, you had PvP games, sure, but nothing like that, where you had different lanes, heroes converging into lanes and then killing each other. Just, yeah, Liz got caught holding the bag. Oh well, yeah. And Activision, that whole thing taking over, and then, I mean, I'll give Bobby Kotick props. He was a businessman for Blizzard. He made crap ton of money for Blizzard, for their investors. It was just at the cost of, you know, milking their player base dry. It's really what it came down to, which is, it's sad because unfortunately all of the AAA video game studios started going down that route where it's like, okay, now we need to cater to the stockholders, not the customers. And when you go down that route, it's just like, yeah, that's where your quality goes to crap. We had great games back in the day. You continue to have great games. And we still have great games today because of the people that are making them, not because of the studios themselves. The studios are, AAA ones are irrelevant now. It's like, yeah, you're losing all this money because you're idiots and you're spending. Fortnite made a great game. And now they are losing money because they're losing players and they're firing all of the developers that they've hired. Not all of them, but like a decent amount of developers they've hired along with a bunch of staff because they can't afford to pay them anymore. It's like, you don't need 1,000 people to work on your damn game. You need decent people to know what the fuck they're doing working on a game. That's all you need. Brand loyalty, customer service, doing right, but the player base, he screwed the pooch big time because of themselves. Yeah, I agree with that completely. But yeah, it sucks. Sadly, I think, and I hate to say it, but I would make the prediction that this might be the last Diablo game we see. I don't want to say it, but I think this might be the last Diablo game we see. I think Microsoft is not willing to put in the effort for Diablo 5. I think they would shut it down and focus on Warcraft and potentially whatever else is making them more money in terms of like microtransactions. And it sucks. That's how I feel. I don't think we're ever going to get a Diablo 5. I think Diablo 4 is going to be it. However many expansions we get for Diablo 4, I'm hoping we get more. But for some reason, I just don't see Diablo 5 down the road. If it does come out, cool, but I don't know what it would be at this point. Well, honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Diablo 4 was the last Diablo. Yeah, but it sucks. You know, you didn't want to see it go down this road, but I mean, it's not like we can do anything about it. We're not the ones creating the damn games, and we're not the ones behind the scenes worrying about, paying off the damn stockholders. So, and then unfortunately, you have people like, who the hell made last Epoch, whatever. You have people like them, the indie developers who learned how to program, made a game, and then were not business people. They didn't know how to run it behind the scenes, and they ran out of money, so they had to sell it to Tencent, whoever bought them, And I made the same criticism against Darkhaven in one of my videos, that you have great developers from old days that made Diablo 2, Torchlight, various other games, and they've become indie developers essentially, and they came out with that Kickstarter, and it threw a bad taste in my mouth, like completely. It felt disingenuous to me. I know what they were going for, and what they had was, I feel it was too early for the Kickstarter at the time that they had it. I feel the game needed to be more fleshed out, and even when I talked to the developers, they even admitted that they weren't sure what they were going to do with the building side of the game. And that to me was just like, if you guys don't know what you're doing with the game, why should I invest into it? And this was after the Kickstarter drama and everything else, because we were all talking in the Discord, and I was talking to one of the developers for it, and I'm just thinking to myself, you guys have no sense of business, none whatsoever. You don't know what you're doing. You're just asking for money at this point, and it's going to be gone in no time flat, even though that's not really what a Kickstarter for. Kickstarter is mostly for showing potential and getting other investors, not necessarily the customers, bigger investors, publishers, and things like that, interested in backing your game and working out some of the money. But yeah, so give you the cow level and you'll be happy. Now $500 is not chump change. It just, Brookhaven just, and it was an interesting concept when I went through it at first. Like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then I got into it, and I'm just like, there's not enough here where I'd be interested to keep playing, because they have no end game signed or even planned for the game just yet. They want it to be open modding, which is going to be huge. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for open modding. But other than that, it's just like a Minecraft Diablo hybrid that excels at neither of them. You don't have, there wasn't enough game for me to want to invest in it. And maybe down the line I will. I'm keeping an open mind. I'm keeping it up to date on it. But for the moment, I don't have any interest to play it again until I see what they're eventually going to do with the game. So, but it is what it is. Anyway, it's late for me. That technical test was way too early to showcase. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they should have waited a little bit longer to flesh it out a little bit more, figure out what they're going to do with the game, and just have like more of a plan for the game. I don't have an issue with, coming out with a demo that's barely has anything in it, but at least give me an idea of what your end game goal is, This was just basically, to me, it looked like people just putting together systems with their previous systems that they made in previous games, and they're just meshing it together and basically telling the people who are interested, like, this is a half-baked idea, support us. I'm just like, can you fully bake it, at least the idea? You don't have to fully bake the whole programming part of it, but fully bake the idea at least, and then worry about the toppings later. You don't even have a fully baked idea. You just have half or a quarter of a baked idea. So, yeah, it just wasn't great. You can make Diablo, but with an actual mesh world that still follows total chaos and structural terrain. I think that'd be good. Yeah. Like I said, I'm keeping an open minded about it. I wasn't interested in backing it as well. And the whole drama with the stupid Discord thing, that guy was an idiot. Ugh. Donated, it's like 60K or something. It never went through. But that guy was honestly just a douche. There's no way to get around saying it. The dude was just a douche. Like, if you don't want to support the game, don't support the game, but don't falsify, payments and crap like that. Like, I don't personally like the game, but I'm not gonna go behind their backs and start sabotaging the game, saying it's bad. Even in my video about the game, I gave strict facts about what the game did. First, I said this, and this. This is what they're offering now. This is what's currently in the demo. This is what they have planned. These are the issues that happened since the demo came out, the updates, and then I went into my own critique about the game, what I didn't personally like. But I'll give you the facts first. I like to stay objective. I don't want to give people false impressions that, just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for them. You may be interested in a Minecraft Diablo hybrid. Perfectly fine. It's just not for me at the moment, from what I'm seeing at the moment. But I'm keeping an open mind. So, a few rounds of testing and then a closed signed NDA alpha test would do better for them. I agree with that. Yeah, 100% agree with that. But, yeah. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow with the wife. Hopefully, if the servers are up and the game hasn't crashed on us like 15,000 times. Because we know Blizzard. If they better not have a repeat of season 12, I swear. The beginning of season 12. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. And have a good night, everybody. And good luck tomorrow with whether or not you play Paladin or Warlock Draconian. I will definitely be playing Warlock, as will my wife. So have fun. And hopefully technically see you in game or at the stream. Either way. So have a good night all.